So you can see that the first set of graphs, we're going to have the points already labeled for us, which is going to make it easy. I'm going to type out some steps on this side. So if you want to write down the steps so that when you're doing the Delta Math homework later, you can look back at this. So the first step that we always do when we're finding slope on a graph is locate 2 points on the graph. And what I mean by that is that the points that you choose have to be actually at the edges of the graph. So for instance, let me get a highlighter here. So for instance, this could also be a point that I choose because it's at the corner here of the little grid marks. The line, my black line crosses the corner here. But I wouldn't be able to choose this point here in blue. This would not be an acceptable point to choose because it's not at one of those corners. It's not at a corner of the graph. It's in the middle, and we can't choose anything that's in the middle. So when we choose a point, just make sure that it is at the corner of your graph. So we locate 2 points. They already did that step for us, so we don't have to do that here. After you draw the rise, so that's up, down, and I'm going to draw my rise really quickly. So in pink, I will draw a vertical line from the first point all the way up to where the second point is. And then step 3, we're going to do the run. So I'll do this in purple. So run is left to right or just side to side. And then once we draw these, once we draw them, we want to calculate our slope. So how we do that is we count the number of spaces for rise and run. So be very careful when you're counting spaces because sometimes people make mistakes here. You're just counting the distance here of this pink line. So for the pink line, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares up. So our number that we're going to write here is 4. Oops, let me write this in pink. 4. We do the same thing for purple. We just count the distance here. So the purple line is 2 spaces. So I'm going to label this as 2. And then once we count the spaces, we want to write, I'll do this in blue, write our rise over run. And then there is a very key thing here when you're doing rise over run, which is whether or not your slope is positive or negative. So the trick here is always just focus on the rise, okay? If your rise goes up, it is positive. So I'll just write, if the rise goes down, we're going to have a negative slope. So this is all you need to focus on when you are writing down your slope, okay? So because we went upwards, when we were drawing our pink line, we had to go up, right? So that means that this will be a positive 4. On other ones that we look at, if we have to go down, then we would include a negative sign in front of it. Don't worry about the purple part, left or right. Just ignore that. All you need to remember and focus on is rise. Okay, so up or down. Going up means it's positive, going down means negative. So our slope here, if I were to answer, what is the slope of this graph? I would write down my rise, it was positive 4, divided by my run, which was 2. And this one I can simplify. I can take 4 divided by 2. So my slope would just be positive 2, would be my answer here.